Hello guys, welcome to JV's IAS. As you have seen the title of this particular video, it is to help you how to choose an optional subject for UPSC examination. If you are a new aspirant just starting your UPSC preparation journey, there will be a question in your mind. Actually, it is $1 million question in each and every UPSC aspirant mind, that which optional subject should I choose for my preparation. So in this particular video, I am going to guide you what are the parameters that one has to look into for selecting an optional subject. Actually, before that, what is the role of optional subject in the preparation of UPSC examination, then these parameters to select an optional subject, and then which optional is going to suit you depending upon these parameters. I'll just give you the guide. Depending upon this guide, you can choose, like UPSC offers a number of optional subject in the mains examination, out of which you can shortlist and out of which you can finalize one subject for your preparation. That is the goal of this video. I hope you will enjoy this session, and I hope at least you will get a clarity which optional subject is going to suit you in this preparation. And before entering into it, I have a disclaimer. The disclaimer is that whatever the parameters that I am going to discuss, it may vary from aspirant to aspirant. This is from my perspective or the team of experts on which we have put lot of thought and come up with these are the parameters which we can say this optional subject is a good one. Okay, so let us begin. First and foremost, let us begin with the role of an optional subject in the selection in the UPSC examination. So this is a briefing for those candidates who are completely new, who do not have any idea about the optional subject. So if you want, you can skip this session. Otherwise, if you are completely new, you can watch it. So here, as we know, in the mains examination, you have a total of 9 papers, out of which 2 papers are qualification ones, like the language papers, okay, English and any other language, okay, English and other language. So it may be Hindi or any other language that is local language to you. Then apart from these 2, remaining 7 subjects, okay, remaining 7 subjects, they are there for merit. That means which are calculated for rank evaluation. Okay, in this you have 4 subject papers which are also known by general studies papers: GS paper 1, GS paper 2, 3 and 4. Okay, so you have 4 papers, each weighting 250 marks. So together they count for 1000 number of marks. Okay, then there is one more paper which is essay, under which each and every candidate is asked to write at least 2 essays from 2 different sections. So this is also for 250 marks. Okay, then so this is cumulative 1250 marks. Now comes the subject matter of this video, that is optional subject. So in UPSC from 2013 onwards, there is one optional subject which we have to choose, and this optional subject has 2 papers, like optional subject paper 1, optional subject paper 2. Again, each of these paper carries 250 marks. So together an optional subject is of worth 500 marks, okay, in the mains examination. So together, how many marks you are going to write in the mains examination? It is 1750 marks. Now here comes the picture. See, in the general studies paper, you might have seen the marks of many aspirants who have successfully cleared this examination, who have topped this examination. In that, you might have seen that they might be scoring, like in the general studies, the average marks which are considered to be very good, so they fall between 380 to 450. So this 450 out of 1000 is exceptionally very good score. Or on an average, even if you can score like 100 per each paper, like 400 marks in all the 4 subjects, 4 GS paper subjects, then it is considered as very good score. Then in the essay, 150 plus is considered as very good score. Now together, even if you are taking very good scores, together both of them, like GS plus essay, are going to be covered for 550 marks. Now the actual picture of optional. So this is the very important subject, because with good amount of efforts, with good amount of writing practice, in optional, out of 500 you can easily score 300 and plus. Of course, it's with good efforts, good answer writing, good guidance, good amount of applicability. So now taking all of these into picture, so it is possible to score 60% of the marks in optional papers. But if you are looking at the same in the general studies papers, the percentage, that is too good percentage, is only 40%. So that is where optional is actually a game changer in the UPSC mains examination. It is a game changer in your selection, in the service that you are going to get, because the service allocation will be done based on your merit, your rank, okay, your marks, and the kind of zone that you are preferring. Now we have zones, so this is also highly influenced by the number of marks at the rank that you are going to get. So in all of this optional subject plays a very important role, because in GS and essay, the performance of a average aspirant, or you can say good aspirant who are in the final list, so almost uniform, like as I said, 380 to 450, it falls in between this range. Similarly 140 to 160 in this range in the essay. But coming to the optional subject, it's all about your efforts. जितना efforts आप लगाएंगे उतना अच्छा marks आने का कोशिश है, ठीक है? So that is where this optional subject is very important. Now the biggest question is, before choosing an optional, what should I consider? What are the parameters should I look into? So depending upon what, I have to select my optional subject. For this, the first and foremost one is the syllabus of your optional subject. Just go through the syllabus of these subjects, optional subjects, in which you have some interest or in which you have some idea. Go through them. In this given syllabus, at least if you are familiar with 50% of the syllabus, okay, if you are familiar with 50% of the syllabus, that means that subject is a prospecting subject for you. Keep it aside. Whatever the final decision, we can take it after going through all these parameters. So in that manner, what we can do, first we can do the filtering, and we can select all such subjects with which we are familiar with, at least with the syllabus of that subject. Okay, that is first parameter. Second parameter is the availability of expert guidance and the material. See, when we select some subject, GS and essay, with just a mentoring, you can prepare it on your own. So it completely depends upon you whether you need coaching or mentoring or guidance or so for GS and essay papers. But coming to optional subject, for optional subject, you will definitely need expert guidance. So this is true for each and every aspirant, okay? Because here the optional subjects we must approach as the subjects of science streams. So if you look at the syllabus in the UPSC mains examination for each and every optional, it's not like a general studies optional or general studies syllabus. There will be in-depth topics. So for that, you definitely need an expert guidance. So if you go through lot of aspirants success stories, each and every one will tell you that at least for optional subject, you need good availability of the material. That is, whatever that is there in the syllabus, for that relevant material has to be available. Okay, and at the same time, for this, expert guidance should be available. Like if you are not able to understand some topics of it, somebody has to be there to help you out and to check your answers that you are practicing and to give you a feedback. For this purpose, you must have good material availability, at the same time expert guidance. This is the second criteria. Now the third criteria is the performance of this subject. Performance of the subject in the sense, you have to look from two angles. The one angle is how many number of candidates are getting selected from this optional, which we generally call it as success rate of the subject. Success rate. So what is the success rate of this subject in the UPSC examination? So this will tell you like the subject difficulty, availability of the material, the kind of questions which are being framed in the examination. All that information gives you this information related to success rate. So once you know this success rate, if the success rate is good, like even if it is above 5%, in all the selected candidates at least 5 to 10% is coming from this subject, then that subject is a prospecting subject for optional. Then second thing that you have to look is number of marks. Like out of 500 marks, how many of the, like two things again here, you have to look at the top marks, like what is the top score in that particular optional. Then you have to look at the average marks. That means top marks reveals you like how good the subject, like how good you can score in the subject if you put efforts. And the average marks will tell you, it will give you the assurity that even if you perform like just above average, you are assured to get this much of marks. So these two are the good factors that you have to consider. Okay, the marks, what is the top marks, and what are the average marks in the subject. Plus also look at how many of the candidates are scoring at least 60% of the marks. Like 300 plus kitne log ko aaya hai. That is one more factor which will tell you about the scope for you to score 300 plus if you put right efforts. Okay, that is another thing. Now apart from that, also look at the number of top rankers. Top rankers, the reason behind it is not to discriminate any subject but to give you some insight. If you know, I'm not saying to look for top 10 or top 50, at least you look at top 100 or top 200 ranks. Out of this, how many rankers are there, how many successful aspirants are there in the list? That will tell you very good information related to the time management. That is, how good you can manage your time while taking care of optional, at the same time putting emphasis on GS papers and essay papers. So how good you can distribute your time equally between GS subjects and essay and optional, that will be revealed by looking at this. So taking what subject the aspirants are there in the top 200, that will tell you, that means these aspirants are able to manage their optional subject as well as GS subjects equally. So that gives you the information that this particular subject can be taken up so that I can balance my preparation with respect to the optional as well as GS and essay papers, so that I can score good in the all subjects. So that will be revealed by this. So these are the three things you have to look at when it comes to the performance of this subject in the examination. Then, like I said, time management. So this is closely linked with what you can say the syllabus of the optional. If the syllabus of the optional is concise, and one more thing, if it is overlapping with any of your GS papers, I'll come to this section in the next discussion. Let us focus on the time management as of now. So this tells you like what is the syllabus of it and in how many days I can complete this syllabus, like with coaching or with expert guidance. and within how many days I can revise the syllabus. This is very, very important, because if you see the trend of UPSC examination, the gap between prelims and mains is continuously reducing, right? So earlier there used to be like at least 120 days time, then it has reduced to 100 days, then now coming examination it is going to be 90 days or so. So if the number of days between the prelims and mains is going to be narrowing, then you need a subject which can be revised at least twice or thrice at least, okay, within that small gap, so that you can give very good test series and practice all the answer writing. So for that, this is very, very important, having a concise syllabus, okay. So that will tell you how can you manage the time. Of course, अगर syllabus ज़्यादा भी है and if you are well prepared, you can manage it. I'm not discouraging it, okay. It's just a general point. Then coming to overlapping with the GS papers, okay. See, this is a disclaimer. Do not believe if anyone says by taking one optional you can cover 50% of GS or 70% of GS. All of that is a lie, okay, because any optional, it has its dimensions, and GS subject, it has its dimensions. Both of them may be syllabus, some of the syllabus may be overlapping. I can say maybe 20 to 25% there might be overlapping. It might help you, but apart from that, don't believe that 50%, 60% or 90%, it's all about rubbish, okay. So maximum 20 to 30% help might be there in the overlapping, and you can have the link with the GS papers. Thereby you can put some of the topics from GS papers in your optional, from optional to the GS, okay. So that is, so look for those subjects, okay, which can help you in the GS as well. But even if the subjects, like if you take some of the science subjects, they are not going to be much helpful in the GS, but however they are also having their advantages and people are exceptionally performing well. So don't rule out those subjects, okay. So that is where this factor comes, which is like the most important parameter in selecting an optional, that is the interest of an aspirant. It is all about your interest, your background, whether you have interest in that subject or not, some enthusiasm to learn that subject and to show that subject is going to help you not only in the examination, in your real life or in the administration. If this interest is there, then definitely you can perform very well in that particular subject. So that is the most important factor, which is above all whatever that we have discussed so far, okay. So above all of them, interest of you in that particular subject is the most important factor, okay. Now looking at these factors and taking these factors into consideration, how should you select an optional? Which optional is going to suit you? How to select it? So the idea is simple here. Again, there is this disclaimer. I am putting the decision in your hands by analyzing all these factors. Now just put those factors into play and select the subject, okay. So here what you have to do, UPSC has close to 48 optional subjects in the mains examination, yes, okay. In this, like whatever the parameters that I have discussed earlier, first take your interest, subject interest. Look at all the subjects which fascinate you or which might be like well known to you, or you might have some intrinsic interest in those subjects. So list out those subjects, list them like 1, 2, 3, 4, say 5, 6, whatever the number of subjects in which you are much interested. Then put the second factor, like syllabus analysis. Go through the syllabus of each and every optional subject, look at it, which subject is seeming prospecting to you, like with respect to its syllabus. Syllabus is concise and well known to you, go with that. Again, short list. See, in each of the step, short list your subjects. Then third, the availability of the expert guidance and material. Again, shortlist the subjects. Then look at the performance of this subject, like the number of toppers or the distribution of the marks or average assured marks, all of them put together again do the shortlisting. Now once these parameters are applied, once you have seen all these parameters and applied, whatever the subjects that you are left with at the end of this analysis, blindly go with them. At least you start your preparation at least for a month or so by reading those subjects, and thereby you can understand how this subject is going to helpful for you or not. So after that you can take the decision. So this is how one has to select the optional subject, and of course this is a general idea, and if you want to deviate and if you want to take any other subject or any subject depending upon whatever the random criteria that you are taking, that is also fine, provided you are confident about that and you are happy with the subject and you are like I said, you are showing interest in that subject. Okay, this is the main important parameter. If all these parameters are satisfying and you have a list of subjects, take any of the subject from those lists and you will definitely come out of the examination with flying colors. That's it for this session. I hope this is a fruitful session for you, and at least some ambiguity related to the subject selection, particularly optional subject selection, at least I have helped you. I hope so. So see you in the next session. Till then, take care. Bye bye.